me ask one more
Okay,
question.
sure. Go ahead.
And you just said once they ate that that fruit that they was not touched, they start dying and they start feeling ashamed of themselves and other things. So it overtook the tree of life.
In that sense, yes.
So now, how is it that this fruit being the strength and the muscles of that? Because if Adam had just continued to eat this fruit, he wouldn't have to do nothing but eat fruit and lay down and get fat and eat fruit because he wouldn't have to do no work.
This fruit will not make you fat. As a matter of fact, just the opposite. See, I'm going to explain the fruit in a second, but what he was just leading to is the following. Okay, you are what you eat. Correct?
Okay. I agree to that.
We agree on that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means when you eat something, you're supposed to make this body parts.
Right.
Okay, whether it's bone marrow, blood, tissues, lymphatic system, your brain cells, and so forth, you should be able to make that with what you eat. Right?
Right.
Okay. So when we started doing the tree of the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that means what? You started inputting things into your body to make you, supposedly to make you bone marrow, and so forth, but that fruit was not doing that. It was not making you the proper blood. It's not making you the proper bones, and so forth. That's why there's disease and death. Yes, it overtook the fruit of life because we stopped utilizing the fruit of life. If you read also in the Bible, it's also mentioned that after we did that, gods said, listen, we better move this tree, and they placed it east of Eden with a cherubim and a flaming sword so you wouldn't have access to it. Otherwise, not only did you know about good and evil, but now you live forever. You'll be just like the gods, as they said.
That ain't making no sense.
I know, but that's not, I didn't write it. It's King James.
You know.
But,
but the only reason I'm asking that because your grandfather taught you all this. And your grandfather was the leader of the village. He was the man who collected the gold. He was the man who oversaw everything.
And healed people.
And he healed folks. He had to correct trees back there in his yard.
Correct.
What I'm going to ask you is, how many different trees, I mean, you were there and you saw them, that he had so he could pull whatever he needed off for them.
There were...
Now, I know this ones are there. They are about you.
Right.
How many other trees?
There were at least 19.
Which name that? Yeah,
the neem oil.
Yeah, the neem oil. So
right.
we know the neem tree was there in the hibachi
Correct.
tree. So, and you said it, you made it very plain a while ago that you needed army
Correct.
to attack it. So from what I'm getting from you was that he had enough trees in his back, but he didn't have the ones that, I guess he must have had the top 10.
Exactly.
So you got your top 10 best men.
Absolutely.
So that would attack. Now, how many?
You know, it only took 44 people with Che Guevara and Fidel Castro to take over Cuba. Yeah, I'm just saying, 44 people. So if you got top people that know what they're doing, you can accomplish anything.
I agree to that.
Okay.
Now, what I'm asking about your grandfather, how did he teach you to use the trees? And we know that.
Turn it off. Okay.
We know that the first one was this. Then how would you know which other one to use?
Well, because we knew what each thing did, each fruit does, and it was listed. And that's why, like I said, when you pass wisdom, you teach a process of doing things, but you could always Google the knowledge and the information, so to speak. In this country, you can Google it. In India, we would go to the books. You pick up the book, that's like a physicist, that's reference, and it would list the type of things that the fruit was good for. Okay, so for example, I have a list, and these are more than one fruit on here. These are the type of things that were growing there, and we had information on it. So if you, as a physician yourself, were to read through it, you would start to pick up things that may be personal to you. Okay, if I have a heart situation and I'm starting to read this, it will show me this nourishes the heart, this nourishes the heart, this nourishes the heart, and then that would make you a compilation of things that are good for your heart.
So that helped make me whole.
There you go.
Now, have you? You know, you got a lot.
See how
of
fast
experience.
wisdom comes. You know, that's processing.
You got a lot of experience, and you've gone through quite a few folks up there in Detroit. You know, and I kind of feel sorry for you being up there. But how many folks have you run across with a pacemaker and a bad heart like mine, and that you helped made whole? I know you can't put numbers. What fruit would you recommend? You know, because you got to remember, you know all the top 10.
Correct.
What fruit would
Well, there's a couple of things going on here. One is that in this country, there have been a lot of pump about superfoods and this and that. You know,
Right.
You had this guy talk about the goji berry and so forth. Now, goji berry is very good, but it's not the leader. It's the goji berry is considered like a kernel in the army, so to speak.
Well, that's the superfood here.
That's the superfood here because the pump is there. That's what they're telling you. Now, goji berry is a great fruit. It comes from the Himalayas, same from India.
Right.
But it's not a complete food. This is the only fruit that can complete your digestion 100%.
Well, why these other folks that have come out with all these superfoods have not made that one of their leaders?
Because this is a divine fruit. Only a true healer can bring this fruit out to you, and that's what I'm doing. I'll tell you why.
Okay, you tell me why. I'll
tell you why.
You know, like I said,
let me ask the audience and you a question.
Okay.
Okay. What is the most important gland in your body? A gland. You know about the pituitary gland, right?
I'm not sure.
It's not the pituitary gland.
No.
It's the pineal gland. Look that up. I'm going to spell it for you. Pineal. Pineal gland. Pineal, they call it. It resides, if you were to point a finger right through your ear, you would actually touch it right in the middle. It actually resides in the 5 folds of your brain, and that is where you exist. Now, that's the wisdom that I was taught.
Okay.
Now, let me explain what I mean by that. You probably say, what do you mean by you exist? I thought you just exist here, you know. It's not so. When the egg and the sperm from your parents come together, a cell is born. That's you. It has a DNA divine blueprint of who you are, and it is password protected and resides in your pineal gland. So just like you created in his image, so what do? You call him God, right? Well, in India, they say that cell creates another one in its own image, which is also known as stem cells.
Okay.
We know about stem cells. Okay, that stem cell is your cell with all that DNA information, and if it goes to the heart, then it transforms into the piece that needs to fix the heart.
Right.
Okay, that's what the cell does. It's one cell, so the body is composed of that duplication of your cell, the original cell where you are, and so in India we say that this is God's cell because this is God to the body because it was created in its image.
Well, how? I'm trying to figure out.
Now, let me explain to you another thing.
Yeah, I'm trying.
The Germans. Remember the Germans? You ever seen the pictures in World War II when they were killing people? What did they do? They shot them in the back of the head right there, right? Why? Because I have a guy in Washington, D.C. He's got 20 bullets in him that I'm working on him, but they missed that gland. He's still alive. Once you kill that one cell, you are dead without doubt.
Well,
when they talk about people that are laying in coma, and when I say, oh, he's trapped in his body, because that's who you really are. That's where you really are. When they talk about detachment, they're saying that you cell detached from the body so that you can ascend.
Okay. Now, I'm looking right here where you got this picture.
Now let me, since you did bring this picture up, we'll talk about this one first. So the tree of life was placed east of Eden, right?
Okay.
And with a flaming sword to keep you away from it. If Africa is Eden, east of Africa is what? India. Far east is China. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This fruit, the most important fruit on the planet, was actually being brought to China by way of this man named Buddha. We know about Buddha, right?
Yeah, Buddha.
Okay. First of all, Buddha was never fat. to rub his fat belly is an insult.
What you mean that Buddha wasn't fat? Every time you see a Buddha, or anything that you mention Buddha, Buddha was a big old guy. Don't tell me that.
Well, it's the people from the North Far East, that talk about this stuff. But if you look at this picture carefully, and you will notice it looks like a digestive fire. You see, it looks like a fire at the belly.
Right.
It's not actually a fire. He's actually promoting the concept of a digestive fire, because when you have a digestive fire as strong like this, you throw something in it, it's digested. That means your digestive system should be so good that when you eat something, digest it. That means what? Digestion is two things: assimilation and elimination. But if you look very closely to this picture, you will see that this is the same fruit, dry format, that look like this.
So is that the fruit?
That's the actual fruit.
How did you get it over here?
Well, we brought it on a ship, Just the same way I came first in this country. But this particular fruit is the same fruit floating in water. The white is the water. This is just a little clay cauldron that keeps the water cool. And when people were sick, they would say, Buddha, I have all these diseases. And he would just reach in there and just give them one fruit. Now, for a long time, they said that was it Buddha's intention that healed them, or was it the fruit that healed them? And this is the fruit that he gave them and got rid of all diseases. So, as we was talking about, yes, this fruit is beneficial to get rid of all diseases.
Okay.
Now, Buddha took this to Far East. The Chinese medicine, they should be carrying this fruit as a main fruit, as a formulation for every formulation that they have. Now, Chinese medicine actually came by way of Buddha. Ayurveda was spread further east, Far East, by way of this gentleman here. He was an Indian prince from India.
Well, we know Buddha was a powerful person.
Very wise, too.
Yeah, he did a whole lot of stuff.
Right. So now they call him wise, and they call this fruit wise. So he was able to see the wisdom of this.
I thought that was the fruit of life.
This is the fruit of life. It's wise. Okay. It's a wise fruit. They have intelligence too.
Okay. See, we got to keep this thing up for real. See,
it is real.
See, we got to keep it real. We can't.
Now, this fruit looks just like your pineal gland. So, if you were to say that the pineal gland is also known as your third eye. Have you ever heard of the third eye?
No, I heard the third eye, but I didn't know what that means.
Okay, the third eye they usually see is up here.
That's what I'm saying. That when they said third eye, they used to have one where one of them Buddha folks would have it up there.
Yeah. You see the dot that he has up there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's to connote the third eye.
Third eye. Right. I mean, that's.
But it's actually a gland. That's your master gland. Where you exist, that's your third eye.
See, because all of them, when they got some up there, and I asked them, they said, well, this is important to, whatever they all your Indian folks. That's why when you say
black
you're
folks
from
do.
India,
Black folks do it too. Yeah, and they wear the nose ring too. The reason for that.
Yeah, but now, other than the two fruits that you got, let me
talk about this particular fruit for a second, because it's very to get the full flavor of what I'm saying. With the wisdom part from my grandfather also. Now, this fruit looks just like your pineal gland, like we said. And your pineal gland is also known as your third eye. If you Google it, you'll see. It's also called the third eye. So if the carrot is good for your eye, this is good for your third eye. Now, what does that mean? In your body, you have three circulation systems. You have air, you have blood, and you have energy. You know how the air and the blood circulate, but how does the energy circulate? The energy circulates in what's known as 12 meridians and 365 channels. And the whole goal of surgery, as we were talking about early, is to remove physical blockages so that the energy can flow. But the 50-60% of surgeries that are going downhill is they're cutting things out without even thinking that they're going to obstruct your energy flow, and that's why it never heals, because it's your energy that heals you. Your energy heals your physical, emotional, spiritual, and your mental bodies, as they say.
So it's sort of like a fire, you may say. Is that it takes three things to make a fire: heat, fuel, and oxygen. So in order to put it out, if you snatch one away, it's going. So you're saying that if you snatch one of these things out of your body, the body going to die?
Create havoc in your body.
Create havoc.
Correct. Now, if you do surgery properly, okay, somebody might say, well, I have a tumor right there, and just cut it off like that. No. you want to see that you're not going to upset the energy level that flows there. So you may not cut the whole thing. You may just have to end up cutting a little bit. But what do they do here? They cut the whole thing. So now that messes up with the rest of the body because the flow of energy stops. The same way medicines in this country are what? Blockers.
Yep.
Okay, you got beta blocker, alpha blocker, theta blocker, this and that. Yep. If you got a carpal tunnel syndrome, they block the pain up here, and what happens? You cut off your energy system. When you cut off your energy system, what happens? It's known as side effects. Your body is not meant to absorb synthetic material. Your body's only meant to absorb real foods, real components that are in foods. Nourishment that you're supposed to get is supposed to be real, not synthetic. Let's keep that real.
Yeah, well, we know that. We kind of thought that, but the synthetic, when the synthetic came along, we found out that it was cheaper to produce. It would, at that time, you figured it was substitute for the real thing, mm-hmm. And that's how it got to be so popular. So when they started putting it in medicine and making it all, because in order to produce enough medicine for this country and the world, you got to have some synthetic, because you can't have that much natural.
Yes, we do.
That fruit there, you would have enough of that
yes.
to get around the world.
Yes.
And it's only grown in...
It's grown throughout India. It's now being grown in Africa. Actually, there are 7 species of it. This is a particular species that I'm telling you about that does the marvelous things that it does. Just to get back on this fruit, like he would teach me, for example, that this fruit does what a surgeon is supposed to do. It does what a massage therapist is supposed to do, what an acupuncturist is supposed to do. This fruit can do it. This fruit does surgery. You ever go to a GI and they talk about those polyps in the colon and whatnot, right? So what happens? The GI goes in, gastroenterologist, goes in and does what? Snip, snip. Okay?
Yep.
Now, he snipped it, but that's a format of detox in a sense, detoxifying the body.
Absolutely.
But he don't rejuvenate it. He can't rejuvenate it. This fruit goes in, it'll snip that polyp, and then it'll give the nourishment where it snipped it, the nourishment to rejuvenate, and you're made whole. This fruit removes conditions in the body, not symptoms. Symptoms will not even exist when the condition is gone. This fruit in India, my grandfather used to tell me, is more nourishing than a mother's milk. That's how wisdom is passed on, by words like that. What does that mean? If you could take a whole human baby and raise a whole human baby on a mother's milk, you could raise a whole human being on this, because this is, in India, he used to say, this is your Mother Earth's milk.
I see in your jar you got 5 or 6 of them floating around.
Correct.
So in order to get it in your system, you put the whole fruit there, and you let it sit for how long? What kind of liquid is there?
That's water.
Just pure water.
Yeah. See, we sun dry it so we can ship it all over the place. And what you do is you take the fruit, you put it in water. Now, the first amazing thing that happens is you can drink water anywhere on the planet, because God intended you to drink water anywhere on this planet. As soon as you put that fruit in the water and it starts turning colors, guess what? It's safe to drink. You have just purified the water.
But back to the enzymes in the fruit.
Correct.
Is the enzyme floating through the water that will
help you, benefit you.
That
Correct.
will make you whole.
Correct. This is a fruit juice, and like I said, we call it Mother Earth's milk.
So why don't
they tell you about it?
Yeah.
Because like you said, they want to stay entrepreneurial,
but
capitalistic, and take money from you week after week and month after month.
Which
is not even money, because there's no money in this country. There's no gold backing the money anyway. So, that's why I take gold.
Well, we ain't gonna get into that talk. We know how that works. You see, because you start a whole new hour with me, because that's one of my favorites topics. But now that we are talking about curing, I mean not curing or making you whole.
Now let's just
how often do?
Before we get to that part, let's do it step by step.
Okay.
This is the same juice from here.
Okay.
So what this fruit does also, it drops the pH of the water without electricity down to 5.5. It's the same pH as your eyes and your hair. If you were to take 5.5 pH water by itself and keep putting on your head, your hair, without coloring it, will look like when you were a little baby, the same color. Black or brown. Or
Okay, but I'm trying to figure out how.
Now, you take this. This is the juice from the fruit. Check this out now.
So if I wash my head with...
You take this fruit juice and you spray your eyes. The wonderful thing starts happening. Everything becomes clearer, brighter. Your peripheral vision increases. That means you'll be able to see around corners. This way. Okay? And... we're keeping it real.
Okay. I like that. Boy.
You know, so what happens, everything starts looking bigger. That means what? You improve your eyes. It's this fruit juice will stop macular degeneration. I have dealt with cataracts. I have dealt with glaucoma with this fruit juice right there. But you take a shower with all those chemicals. Yeah, open your eyes. There you go. There you go.
Don't forget about me. I want to spray my eyes too.
Now, isn't it cooling on the face?
Yeah, it's cooling in your eye. Yeah.
Right, now it's a refrigerant. Now, in the back of your neck, if I spray you like this, you'll feel your whole body cooling down.
Okay. See, audience, you seeing live therapy happen.
Live. This is live.
Yeah,
we always live.
Therapy happen. And tomorrow when I'm on here, I'm gonna be able to see better. I'm gonna feel better. And
now, if you look at his face, it's glowing already, and we didn't put oil on his face. You see that? Everybody's face is glowing, but your skin eats also. So when you put it on your skin, let me put it this way: this guy in Philadelphia, just to give you an example, he had 3rd degree, 2nd degree, and 1st degree burns on his body. He was actually doing the juice, and his inner spirit told him to get a spray bottle, and he put the juice in the spray bottle, and he kept spraying himself. He didn't even go to the hospital.
Wow.
And then what we did was he took the neem oil, which is why these two are like Batman and Robin. He took the neem oil, put it on there, and was able to recuperate his skin. He not only got his skin back, but he got his color back.
Okay.
Without having to go to the hospital and be in that tub, in that big tub. They put you in water. They soak you in that water all day long when you have burns. That's how they treat you.
Now we know that you guys work together out there, so we want the audience to know how they can contact you.
Sure.
Well, first, or you need to call here. We ain't, because I got a special.
You get testimony directly.
Yeah, we want you to call here, and of course, the number here is 444-770-300. You can email us at wen.tv, however you want to reach it, and we gonna make sure, because doctor gonna be back, and he and I gonna sit down after this. We gonna have a regular time on Saturday morning sometime where all you guys come in here.
That's
and get
right.
healed.
Want you to
come get healed, but now bring your gold.
Bring the gold.
Bring your gold now.
Not the goat. I'll take the goats too. The goats
now, if you gold American Express, just let it be gold.
Yeah.
If you gold Visa, whatever, you bring the one that can afford it, because around here we ain't cheap.
Yeah. but we ain't expensive.
Yeah, but we here.
Yeah.
We make you whole.
That's right. And that's why these prices on these things are so low, because for the people that can't afford it, a lot of people have been crying out for help to God for a long, long time. People that have really what I call the lowest common denominator, their voices are heard too. God hears everybody, and when it gets to the point where enough voice is being heard, then God does something about it. And usually what he'll do is he'll send you a guide or someone to guide you out of the misery and the madness that you're in at that point in time. When you talk about the concept of an avatar, for example, an avatar is, what is an avatar? It's not that movie you see in America. They totally disconnect you from the truth. An avatar is what? When mankind cannot handle his own business, when wickedness is so prevalent that he sends a thought, one of his own thoughts, in the form of a person, which was in India, Satya Sai Baba, who just passed away not too long ago, who had a fro like this, bigger than Don King's. He's amongst you, 108 pounds all his life, 3 foot tall, and he could just look at people and heal them like that. That's what I aspire towards. And so that's what an avatar is. So when you know there's an avatar amongst you, that means wickedness is prevalent.
How long did he live?
He lived to be about 87 years old.
Well, now, some wisdom ain't. He has all these powers and he knows how to do things. A person should live at least 100.
Well,
so how did he cut his life short?
Well, because he's coming back again the third time. This is the second time that he's here. The first time he was here, he was known as Shirdi Sai Baba. Second time is Satya Sai Baba. And the third time when he comes, he's going to be known as Sai Prem. Means love.
How do we know it's the same one?
Because he's proved it. I mean,
You heard it, and we only
go
speak
online,
truth.
and that's what Satya means, truth. Sathya. That's Satya, Sai, S-A-I, and look up Speaks, S-P-E-A-K-S, and you will see 33 volumes that he put out there that you can read. And for example, some of his sayings are, one of his sayings is, many words harm the mind, few words charm the soul. The way to achieve that is by doing this mantra. It's 6 words: listen calmly, think calmly, speak calmly.
So 6 words.
Those are the 6 words.
Okay.
If you do that and somebody's coming to you like, and you just stay in your head, listen calmly, think calmly, speak calmly, listen calmly, think calmly, speak calmly, and keep doing that, you will see the person in front of you calm down.
I agree with that. Now, since time is up,
Yes,
we do want to know a couple of things that I'm going to ask both of you guys.
Uh-huh.
What should we eat in the morning? How many meals should we eat? And how often should we eat? I've heard some folks say Elijah, what Muhammad said, eat once a day or once every other day. Some folks say you eat 3 or 4 meals, and some say you eat as often as you get hungry. And they said the most important thing is elimination. Well, if you keep eating and you don't eliminate once a day, something ain't right about that.
Once a day, you should be eliminating more than that if you're eating 3 meals a day.
So
now,
every
there's something
time
right
you eat,
about that.
So, okay, well, I can go along with that.
Yes.
But what should you eat? How often should you eat?
Well, I can say this. This is more important before what you decide you want to eat. It's imperative that you find out to eat what your blood type says. That's how sometimes we wonder that things are, or we say that, or we hear that things run in the family, such as diabetes, that gene, heart issues. It's simply because we don't have the education to know what that we should and should not be eating for our blood type alone.
How do we know? I mean, you got what? A positive, B positive, and O positive. So you got?
You got 4 types that are out there. Now, the way that you can find out, you can always call back to your physician and find out what they may have for your record since you've been born. Or you can actually get an actual test where you can prick your finger, and within 2 or 3 minutes, you can find out what your blood type is.
And so how you know what you're supposed to eat according to your blood type? Is there a chart somewhere?
There's always education to be found where you can actually find out what you should and should not be eating for your blood type.
Okay, this education gets to be foggy because you can look at 5 different folks and they give you 5 different answers. Mm-hmm. So now who am I to believe? Because I read several books and all of them got, different. See, just like Doc here, he was taught that one thing takes care of it. You're telling me that I got to find out, I got to read, and I read 5 different books and give me 5 different answers. I'm going to be all confused. Right. So is there one source that we as a people can go to and give us a solid, truthful answer? Because don't tell me to read. Because if I read, I'm going to read, I read this book. I read that book. And that's 5 different things. We're going to have to get out of here. I want you to answer that real quick, and then we're going to let the audience know when we are coming back.
All right. That one reference that I preach by and that I swear by, it's a book called,
so we can hear.
It's a book called Eating for Your Type. That book will let you know from A to Z from what foods you should consume during the course of your journey for every blood type that there is.
If I eat right, how long should I live?
Well, the word says that you promised at least 70. Am I right?
Okay, that's what I'm promised. But if I eat right, I mean, it also said that if you do the right thing, your life is expanded. How long should I live?
I would say 100.
Okay.
I would say at least 100.
I was finna say I think you ought to live 120.
My great grandma was 104.
Okay. We want to thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
And one little thing. If you want to reach me, 516-669-4488. drbombay.net, DOCTOR, Bombay.net. As far as
spell that Bombay,
BOMBAY, Bombay. Now, just to give you a quick view, we've actually gotten people off dialysis, chemotherapies, and all kind of diseases. We just did a recent one with cluster headaches.
Yes.
First time I ever did a cluster headaches, and we were able to win over cluster headaches, which is called suicidal headaches also. We deal with anything, any disease, any problem whatsoever in a normal, natural fashion. Just like it took you a while to get it in there, we can get it out of you quick enough. And yes, you can live longer and get off your diabetes medications and all kind of stuff within 7 to 10 days, even if depending on how you do it.
Okay, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll be back tomorrow, and me and Doc gonna get together. But this time I'm gonna let the audience know, so everybody be tuned in, and you can call in, and he'll talk with you as much time as we have. But when you call in, don't expect us to go into detail. Just ask a simple 3-word question, no more than 5, so we can hear and make it clean. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.